everybody. Welcome to Art for Animals. How are you doing? I'm Suzanne Alexander. Some of you may recognize me from Great American Country Television. This here is little Manny, who is squirming to get down, so I'm going to let him go. But he is the star of tonight's fundraising event. There he goes. He's running off to his mama. But boy, is he cute with that little bow tie. I was going to try and squeeze him as long as I could. Well, welcome to the 13th annual Art for Animals, benefiting the Pet Community Center. Of course, this year's event, looks a little bit different, 2020, right? But we are so glad you guys are joining us for another celebration of your generosity and the difference that you're making in our community. We are together tonight for a very important reason, and that is to make this a successful fundraising event by donating money for a very good cause. Now, as you know, the Pet Community Center is dedicated to strengthening the human-animal bond through accessible veterinarian care and support services. This year, it has been so hard for so many in our community. Natural disasters, high unemployment, and for some, an eviction crisis. So there has never been a more important time to support this mission. Many pets have fallen into poverty over the past 9 months, making the need for PCC's services even greater, and the impact of your support more critical. Every pet owner wants to make sure their pets stay happy and healthy, and we're here to make sure they can. Your support will help pet owners with accessible veterinarian care. So, we've got a good challenge for you guys tonight. You ready for this? The challenge is to raise more than $100,000 to continue PCC's life-saving work. Now, to get us started, I want to introduce to you a very important woman that is, to PCC, the President and CEO, Miss Natalie Corwin. Hello, how are you?
Great.
Big night tonight.
Yes. Thank you so much, Suzanne, and thank you to all of you out there watching the stream of this event this evening. I'd like to start by thanking our generous sponsors for their support. Suzanne, will you join me in celebrating our amazing and generous sponsors?
Absolutely, because we cannot do it without them. Let's get started by recognizing the truly impactful support of Mars Pet Care and their $10,000 Salvador Doggy sponsorship. Thanks to you, get this, we're going to provide 667 rabies vaccinations to pets in our community. Thank you, Mars, for your support. Our friends at Mars provided us with a special message that we'd like to share with you guys right now. Take a look at this.
Hi, I'm Lisa Campbell, Director of External Affairs at Mars Pet Care, and we're thrilled to be here once again sponsoring Art for Animals. 2020 has been quite a year for all of us, and as many of you can probably relate, people everywhere are turning to pets now more than ever as a source of comfort and companionship. And because of this, the work that Pet Community Center does has never been more important. You all are a huge contributor to keeping people and pets together during this unprecedented time. And we're so thankful for everything you do in our community to help make a better world for pets. I hope you all have a great evening, and I look forward to being together again soon. Thanks.
Next, we'd like to recognize the support of Tito's Handmade Vodka and their $5,000 Claude Meow Nay sponsorship. Thanks to you, we will provide 1,500 microchips to dogs and cats who come into our clinic. Thank you for your donation.
Well, we'd like to also thank the Bank of Tennessee, Happy Retails, IDEX, and Merrick. It's a $2,500 Henry Maltese sponsor. And of not only IDEX, but also Verbeck, who I use a lot of your products, by the way, thank you. Merrick Animal Health. Of course, with your sponsorship tonight, we will spay and neuter 166 community cats. Unbelievable.
And finally, we would like to thank our Frida Calico level sponsors at the $1,500 level, Earth Dog and First Bank.
We'd also like to give a special thank you to our event photographer, Mandy Whitley Photography. Thank you so much for your work.
Thank you so much to everyone who made a donation to attend the event tonight, as well as the community and volunteers who have made this night possible. We're so thankful for the many ways that your contributions continue to improve the lives of pets in our community.
Absolutely. Well, right now we'd like to recognize someone who is a true champion of PCC's mission with the Jordan Parento Excellence in Service Award. This award was established by the Board of Directors of Pet Community Center to honor our founding board chair, Jordan Parento. This award is to be made to a community advocate or volunteer who actually exemplifies professionalism, leadership, dedication, compassion, and the spirit of service. I'd like to turn this one over to Natalie to tell you a little bit more about why Lisa is so deserving of this incredible honor tonight. Natalie?
Thanks, Suzanne. Well, I first met Lisa Cheek when she was the volunteer coordinator for Nashville Humane. She was about 8 months pregnant and with her first child who was on the way. And it was my first time volunteering, and I still remember to this day how kind and generous she was to everyone that she came into contact with. Years later, I was reintroduced to Lisa through our mutual friend, Rebecca Burcham, who is the connector of all animal people in Tennessee. And Lisa and I got to know each other better. And the amazing thing about Lisa is that her compassion and kindness run so deep that she's willing to go outside of her comfort zone and try new things if it means that it'll help an animal. Lisa shared with me that she wanted to learn how to be a veterinary technician, and she came and volunteered to work with our surgical team, doing heavy lifting, cleaning, and she wasn't afraid to roll up her sleeves. Lisa has also hosted gatherings at her home to raise funds for PCC. She's introduced many, many people to our cause, and she and Jamie, her husband, have even accepted the call to chair our capital campaign. I love getting emails and texts from Lisa because she not only has great ideas to share, but she's always, always willing to put in the sweat equity to make the idea happen. I'm so very pleased to honor Lisa's leadership, compassion, and vision for a better world with our 2020 Jordan Parento Excellence in Service Award. Please welcome Lisa Cheek. And congratulations.
Thank you, Natalie. I feel really undeserving of this simply because of all the staff and volunteers involved with Pet Community Center that donate their lives essentially to help this cause. But I'm really grateful, and you guys continue to inspire me every day. My passion for animals began when I first adopted our dog when Jamie and I got married, named Riley, and then I went on to work in fundraising and development for the Nashville Humane Association, and there my eyes were opened to this cause of animal welfare and how it's so important to give those that don't have a voice your voice and try to make a difference. And I learned from so many there and their passion and their selflessness to make a difference in animals' lives. So after I started having children, as Natalie saw when I was pregnant, I stayed involved as a volunteer and met Natalie through our friend Rebecca Burcham. I was immediately in awe of how Natalie moved to Nashville, saw the staggering numbers of euthanasia at Metro Animal Control at the time, and stepped up to make a difference. She and a group of volunteers negotiated lower veterinary care costs, drove pets there in their cars, just completely started it from the ground up, and now it's become this amazing organization. So I really wanted to share that good news when I first met Natalie, and also was really astounded by the Pets for Life program. I didn't know of another program that existed that helped families who could not afford the veterinary care to keep their pets in their homes and receive the resources from Pet Community Center so that those animals do not end up on the streets or in shelters. So like Natalie said, I volunteered in several different capacities. In the veterinary services area, I quickly learned that I did not have the stamina nor the calm demeanor that all these amazing people had in the veterinary services. They would spay and neuter up to 70 animals a day at that time that I was working there, and they gave each and every one of them immaculate care. And I was so impressed So I became determined to spread that word. And then also about the Pets for Life program. So I went to Natalie and said, I really want to make a video. And I met this amazing guy named Glenn Schweitzer, who is a videographer, and donated his incredible talents and time. And he produced and videoed this, and we made this piece about Pet Community Center that I'm sure you've all seen. But through making that, I learned even more and met volunteers, and especially the clients of the Pets for Life program, who we went to their homes. Some did not have electricity, and they were at times in tears of how they were able to care for their pets because of Pet Community Center, bringing them supplies and taking their dogs to the vet because they did not have a car. And I could go on, but that really made an impact on my life, and it's something I'll never forget. And finally, I just want to say that I think we all have something that keeps us up at night, whether it's finding a cure for cancer, helping the elderly. For me, it's animals, and for me, that was God's nudge to get involved, and it's really changed my life. And I'm just thankful to you all for that.
Great job, and tremendous. Lisa Cheek, unbelievable. Just great work. We need 1 million of you. Well, I think we're ready to have a little fun, raise a little money, because that's what it's all about. Welcome to this man right here, auctioneer Trey Morris. You ready to do it? I'm giving you a virtual
So
10.
ready, Suzanne. Thank you so very much. Oh, my goodness, what an amazing host. And again, congratulations to Lisa. You guys are amazing. Wow, what a fun night. Good evening, everyone. My name is Trey Morris, and I am so excited to be back with you tonight. And I know this is the most exciting part of the night, at least it is for me. This is the giving portion. But before we begin, let's just take a minute to remember why we're all here tonight. So since 2011, PCC has served an astonishing, listen to this, 85,000 animals in our community. And they couldn't have done it without you. That's right, you watching at home. See, PCC depends on donations, and they especially depend on tonight's event to help them serve more cats and more dogs each and every single day. This is the most exciting and the most important night of the year for us. So let's reach our goal tonight, as it was mentioned, $100,000. And you can do that right now by bidding high and bidding often on each and every one of these amazing live auction packages that I'm about to talk to you about. Now, many of you have already registered. I've been watching. You've registered. You've started the giving. So congratulations and thank you. That's what we're here for tonight. But if you haven't registered, what I want you to do, I want you to go right now. I want you to open your phone, and I want you to text Art for Animals to 243-725. Art for Animals, all one word, to 243-725. Or if you're at a computer, maybe you've got your iPad sitting there, you can jump on and go to bidpal.net/Art for Animals. Start the giving. Now, the silent auction, I want to remind you, the silent auction on all those items that you're seeing pop up on there, those are going to close tomorrow at noon. Monday, when you're back at work or you're at your house, Monday at noon on the 21st, those silent auctions are going to end. Now, these 4 very exciting live auction packages that I'm about to tell you about, those are going to close tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time. So we're going to give you a little time to get some liquid courage in you, to text your friends, to talk back and forth, whatever you want to do. 8 p.m. tonight, these amazing live auction items. Now, before I dive into those, I want to show you what we're raising money for tonight. Bring that thing over here. Come on. Oh, my goodness. And if you're at home right now, at the count of 3, I want you to say, "Aw." 1, 2, 3. Aw. You know, the studio could have done that here with me, you know. But listen, you guys are great. Here's our first live auction item I cannot wait to tell you about. Now, this is a cute little kitten, and that's what we're raising money here tonight. Our first live auction item is custom artwork by Penny Adams. Now, this was a very popular piece last year. She named it Sasha, brought so much money. This year, it's a little more unique. 30 by 30 custom mosaic photography artwork, and it's made up of 500 photos of your pet. Now, this includes a professional photograph that you're going to have taken of your pet, and that's going to make up the primary photo of this piece. So you're going to get a professional photo, and then we're going to take 500 photos, because we know that you're crazy about your pets at home, and you take 500 photos of them. You're going to send those in, and we're going to make a very unique piece out of that. Now, this was, again, a huge hit last year. It's open now. In fact, me and my little friend here, we're going to open up, and we're going to see what we got bid on that thing right now. Look at this. Right now, it just started. The giving just started. We're currently at $750 in the giving on that. So, we're actually at $820. So you are at home and you are paying attention. That is fantastic. Now, we got plenty of giving opportunities. In fact, our next one's one of my favorites. It's the Pinewood Kitchen live auction item. Now, this includes a 5-course meal for a private party of up to 20 people on the farm of Southern Living's Chef of the Year, Mee McCormick. Now, you're going to receive a whole tour of the farm and a hayride on the farm with you and all your guests. Again, that's 20 guests. So if you come up with 19, don't forget the auctioneer from Murray, Kentucky. You can always invite me. Why would you invite me? Because one of the main things you get to do is enjoy honey cocktails, which is one of my favorite things to do. And you're also going to get that 5-course meal prepared by Chef Mee McCormick. You get to participate in the gourmet 5-course cooking class as well, so that's very exciting. And then to round all that off, you get to receive a curated Pinewood surprise gift basket. Now, that package is currently open right now. $2,500 is bid. Cheek is in the lead. I know several. Isn't this cat being so good? Everybody is bidding on that thing right now. We're currently at $2,500, so please keep the giving up on that. You guys are doing an amazing job. Live auction item number 3. I love this one too. Check this out. This one includes a 7-night stay. 7-night stay in this beautiful beach house in Oak Island, North Carolina. Now, the home has 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. Come on up here and see me. 4 bathrooms, perfect for a family beach vacation or a couple's retreat. Now, the home is right next to the beach, so you can bid on this thing with confidence. Yes, you're fine. You could bid on this thing with confidence because, listen, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. I want you to call your friends. I want you to call your families. You can do group bidding on this. You can certainly drink up, have some fun. Great auction package here. And guess what? It's at $1,250. Now, this is over a $5,000 value, so we need you to get that up just a little bit there. And our last live auction item, this is one of my absolute favorite ones here. This one is created by the president and CEO's mother, Natalie's mother, Christine Corwin. Now, this is very unique. This is a throw-size quilt, double-sided, and the design would look absolutely gorgeous with any kind of the decor. This is handmade. This is one of a kind. You cannot get on the internet and purchase something like this. This was super, super popular last year. I believe it brought really close to $5,000. And right now, on the quilt, we are only bid, $300. So get your phones out and give. How do you give? Maybe you're just tuning in. Maybe you didn't hear me the first time. It's text Art for Animals to 243-725. That's text Art for Animals to 243-725, and you can continue to make those donations. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, we have an amazing program lined up for you. I certainly hope that everybody's at home. I hope you're having fun tonight, and I really hope that you continue to make your donations. Last year, when I was with you in person, that was a record-breaking event. But now it's time for my favorite portion of the evening, a very special part of our program. In fact, this is the single most important thing that we will do together all night long. Please welcome back Pet Community Center President and CEO, Natalie Corwin.
Thanks, Trey. Well, when I first started learning about fundraising, I was taught to avoid sharing data, numbers, and statistics. But we all know that behind each of those numbers is a cold, wet nose. And PCC supporters have always been savvy enough to understand that spay-neuter is a numbers game. Too many animals going into shelters equals not enough animals coming back out. And if we can spay and neuter enough pets, we can turn the tide. And thanks to your help, we've been incredibly successful in doing just that. When the founders of PCC sat down in 2010 to start forming this organization, 13,000 animals went into the Metro shelter that year. Only 20% were saved. Fast forward at the end of last year, 5,770 animals were admitted to the Metro shelter. That's a 56% decrease. And even more importantly, more than 90% were saved. So we've come a long, long way. And Pet Community Center has been steadily adding to our programs and services. Wellness, outreach, heartworm treatments. Why? Because now we can see the scope of our challenge extends far beyond the shelter walls. Right now, there are nearly 45,000 dogs and cats in Nashville living with families who are struggling financially. Now, we measure that by the number of households that participate in SNAP, or you may have heard it called food stamps. That's nearly 8 times the number of animals that entered the shelter last year. The scope and need for affordable and accessible veterinary care is an even bigger crisis than pet homelessness. Because for those families, there are many barriers to veterinary care: financial, pet-friendly transportation, no clinics in their zip code, or lack of reliable information. But we find in talking to the thousands of clients that we serve each year, people want to provide the best for their pets, and they will when given the opportunity, often prioritizing their pets' needs over their own. But when affordable and accessible services aren't there, the pet and the family suffer as a result. So we've been working these last 9 years to break down the barriers to accessible care. And 2020 has been the most difficult year yet for our community. Now, I just mentioned the 45,000 pets living with under-resourced families here in Davidson County, and that was as of February of 2020. Just since February, more than 6,000 additional pets now live with a family who has been affected by the financial fallout from the coronavirus pandemic. So the number of pets that have fallen into financial hardship since February is more than all of the animals that entered the shelter last year. Thousands more pets are at risk of becoming homeless. Tens of thousands are at risk of going without veterinary care. So it's critical for Pet Community Center to be there for them right now. They need PCC, and PCC needs you. One last number for you tonight, and that number is 20,000. So we have a matching challenge tonight of $20,000. If you give now, your donation will be doubled. It will reach twice as many animals. And we need your help to make sure that we reach that match. There's never been a more important time for us to have your support. So if you're able, I hope that you'll make a gift tonight. You'll be ensuring that pets and their families can make it through this extremely difficult time and come out on the other side healthy and together. Thanks again for being a part of this tonight. We don't take your support for granted, and we deeply appreciate any support that you can provide.
When Lady Bird came to me, she came from a rough environment, and she was broken, and her spirit was broken, and she was just real scared and timid. And Olive has been real motherly toward her, has taught her how to open up and how to tear things up. And Lady Bird is growing every day and learning how to love.
Jennifer, she's a pet coordinator that I met at Pet Community Center. I met her down there about a year ago, and we've been friends ever since. Anything I call her and ask her for Chloe, she always there for me. She never turns me down. I really appreciate her and the work that she does.
She started helping us with our dogs. She called us all the time and tell us about our appointments and things that we got. And they gave them the shots and everything they needed to have and everything. She was always out here.
Well, my pets mean to me, I love them like they're my children. I take care of Chloe. She just a support dog for me. Being alone, disabled, if I get depressed, she keeps me going every day. So I'm grateful for Chloe.
They're emotional and mental support for me. They're really all I have, family-wise, and they're who I go to for everything. They're who I lean on. They give me hope. They're what get me up and get me going every day. I have 2 dogs and I have 4 cats. All of the cats have been trapped. We had to catch them because we were going to have lots and lots more.
I had 2 little kittens that was up under my ramp. I got a box, brought them in, put a blanket in there.
Jennifer would call me and say, Karen, do you think you can catch one of them? And buddy, 5 minutes later, I'd have that cat call. And we caught all 4 of them.
I called Jen. I said, what can I feed them? I was taking them and feeding both of them. So I was a little adopted mom for a minute with some little kittens.
With Pet Community Center, they've all been fixed and they've all had their shots. They're just happy as can be. They get treats all the time. Jennifer's always dropped them off something.
I put it in my arm and I pick up to me. I said, get mama kiss, and I give her a kiss. And she'll kiss me. And sometimes she'll lay right up on my shoulder.
Well, I'm on a fixed income, and both of these dogs are rescues. They get vet care that I couldn't afford to give them. They get their shots. They get all their needs, and I couldn't afford to give that to them.
I'm on a low fixed income. I wouldn't be able to afford the shots and food and stuff for Chloe.
It's a blessing that these dogs have what they have. And it's because of Pet Community Center and Pets for Life that they have that.
Little Chloe, she's very healthy thanks to them.
And it's not just me that I know that Pet Community Center helps, and that wouldn't be possible without the donors.
What a great video and a great reminder of why Pet Community Center is so important. Now, I want to jump right in. I want to take a look at this auction, this live auction. You know the 4 great packages that I'm talking about. You guys are starting to give, and we certainly appreciate that. Let's take a look here. The custom mosaic of Your Pet by Penny Adams. That's currently at $890. You're doing a great job there. That's a priceless, one-of-a-kind artwork there, so keep bidding on that one. The Pinewood Kitchen package is currently at $2,500, so keep giving on that one. Now the quilt needs to do a little bit of work. This is handmade, one of a kind. This was one of the highest live auction packages. In fact, I just received word from Emily. This thing brought $4,500 last year at our live event. What a great package and just a great way to give back to PCC. And lastly, our beach house. You guys are going back and forth on this thing. You're doing awesome. It's at $3,250 right now, $3,250. So keep giving. Those live auction packages, again, are going to close tonight at 8 p.m. So you still have an opportunity to think about that. Now, as we transition into our PCC Paddle Raise Appeal, I do want to remind you that all the funds donated during this portion of the evening, they are considered 100% tax-deductible contribution, and they will be used to fund the amazing work that's being conducted by and through Pet Community Center. Now here's how our special appeal, our Paddle Raise Appeal works. I'm going to call out some very specific giving levels, and when you hear a level or levels at which you'd like to make a direct contribution, or maybe there's just one that's simply meaningful to you, I want you to jump on your phone and I want you to donate. Help us hit that goal tonight. How do you donate? Text ART for Animals to 243-725. You're going to get a text, and you can start the bidding on these great live auction items, or you can start donating. Now tonight, as Natalie mentioned, I am so excited to announce again that we have an incredibly generous offer from a board member and committee member of this event. It's an anonymous donor who has offered to match $20,000 worth of donations made to Pet Community Center. This is during our paddle raise portion of the evening. I think that's incredible. I don't know about you. Let's celebrate that at home. Maybe pop one back a little bit. Cheers. Now, this is your opportunity to help animals, and it's an opportunity to, as Natalie said, double your gift. Now, get your phones out. Start making those donations. I know we have $20,000 already committed. Do I have someone watching tonight online who will virtually raise their paddle at, say, $20,000, and let's just hit that match right out of the gate? Or maybe it's $10,000. Maybe you could give 10 and we'd just be halfway there right out of the gate. You say, Trey, I don't know if I can do that. I can't give 20, I maybe can't give 10. What about $5,000? $5,000. $5,000 could help pay for 34 cats and dogs to receive a rabies vaccination, perhaps spay and neuter prevention, and different supplies. Now, I do know and understand, I'm just getting the word in, Sandy Koch just agreed to give us $5,000. Sandy, thank you so very much at home for that $5,000 donation. And I hope that inspires you to give. Trust me, when you give, you're just going to feel better. So give tonight to PCC. If you can't give 20, you can't give 10, maybe not 5. Our next giving level is $2,500. $2,500 will help pay for flea and tick prevention for, listen to this, 55 pets. So please get your phones out now, make those donations, $2,500. Our next giving level, $1,500. $1,500 will help pay for 50 community cat spays and neuters. And special thanks to Ashley Van Landingham for helping kick us off at that $1,500 level. Now, there's a giving level for every single person here. When you hear one that's meaningful to you or one that you're inspired to give, do it. Again, you're going to feel better when you do. We've been through the 5, the $2,500, the $1,500 level. Our next giving level is $1,000. And so many of you in the room last year helped us at this level. And it's amazing to see where those dollars go and how much they help. $1,000 will help pay for microchip and vaccines for 20 pets. Now, I'm getting it in now. Special thanks to Shane Spinner, Lisa Yeager, and Amber King. Thank you so very much for helping us at that $1,000 giving donation. There's a giving level for, what's that? Lisa Yeager just gave us $5,000. I heard it coming in right there. Oh my gosh. Thank you so very much for the $5,000 donation. You guys are amazing. Keep the giving coming in. I've got to pull this up. I don't know where we're at. I know we had a $70,000 goal during this portion, a $100,000 goal altogether. I'm getting this to, oh my goodness. I know we're about to get this $20,000 match added in. It looks like we're roughly halfway there. So we're at $10,875. I know we're going to get the match added in. We're almost halfway there to our goal during this portion. And again, I want to remind you, there's a giving level for every single person that's watching tonight. Our next giving level, it's $500. What does $500 do, Trey? Well, it pays for food for, listen to this, 33 pets suffering from hunger. Never a better time to give $500 than tonight. Keep the giving coming in. I know that thing is updating rapidly. I keep checking in on it. I know we're going to get our thermometer filled up tonight. Our next giving level, $250. $250 will pay for 2 large dog neuters. Now listen to this. Large dogs are the most vulnerable to being surrendered to the shelter. This is very vital. $250. Now maybe you've already given, but perhaps, and maybe you could give again. Maybe you're helping in the live auction. Maybe you've helped in the silent auction. Maybe you gave at an earlier level. But maybe, just maybe, you could give again. Our last giving offering tonight, and I want to remind you, when you jump on, you can give whatever you want. But our last giving offering that we're going to mention tonight is our $100 giving level. That's going to cover the cost of a microchip and vaccines for 2 pets. You saw a couple pets tonight, the little cat I was holding and our beautiful Shih Tzu that made a guest appearance before he ran off the stage. He just had a little stage fright, but we all have that occasionally. Please continue to make those gifts tonight. I see them coming in. We're roughly over 11,000 now. We still got to get our match added in there. Thank you, Anna, for that gift. I see them coming in. You guys are doing a fantastic job. But what this is doing now is bringing the curtain down on my portion. I still want you to give, and I want to remind you, the silent auction is going to remain open until 12 o'clock tomorrow. The live auction remains open until 8 p.m. tonight, but you can continue to make these gifts, 100% tax-deductible donations, now, tonight, tomorrow, in fact, all year long, and it's never been more vital than now. Thank you so very much for your extreme generosity to the bidders, the backup bidders, and everybody that's giving tonight, and all year long. Please continue to give, and please welcome back our amazing host, Suzanne Alexander.
Congratulations, Trey. What a great job you did tonight. And thank you, of course, for all of you at home for continuing to bring that money in. $100,000, that is our goal with PCC. And since I had such a hard time with little Manny starting the show, I thought I'd go a little easier this time. This little guy not getting away from me at all. Well, as you heard Trey announce, yes, that live auction will continue. It does end tonight, but you do have until tomorrow at noon to finish up your silent auction bidding. So you're not going to want to miss out on these fantastic items. Last time I hosted this event, I believe my friends walked away with a trip to Mexico, and I know they're gunning for that beach trip as well. So bid a lot and bid often. Thank you so much again for everyone for making this an event that is so possible. We can't do it without you. A big thank you to our sponsors. You guys, you donors, sponsors, thank you. You guys have no idea the lives that you continue to save, so many cats and so many dogs. And thanks to the entire team at the Pet Community Center for putting all this together. And thank you again for being so generous. Good night, everybody.